Hey, yo, Tut, you ever heard of this new Detroit nigga claiming he got a closet full of J's and shit?
Yeah, man, he got some tight ass J's.
Man, he ain't shit. I'm from Detroit.
No, for real though, that nigga got a closet full of J's. I mean, literally, a closet full of J's.
Yes, your boy got J's out the asshole. Yeah, we love to shine. Yeah, we love to shine. Rockin' exclusive Air Jordan number 9. Yeah,
What up, though? It's your boy, Detroit Dave, and I'm right back at you with another one. This is my favorite release of the year so far, and y'all know how I love doing comparison videos, especially when it comes to an original pair. So, this is the OG Kings Hare Jordan comparison. And I'm real excited, man, about these hairs, man. I'm gonna talk about a couple of different things in this video. It's very important for me to get this video done because I really want people to see it. I've heard issues about quality. I mean, the sneaker's only been out for a week, so you always get those quality complaints, unless it's something like a Columbia 4 or Oreo 4, which came with very, very nice quality tumble leather when they retro those for the first time in 16 years this year. So you get those a lot. Now, I will say personally, um, I didn't pick up the Midnight Navies. Some people were calling them the Hornets at first. I saw on the release calendar that Nike was actually calling them the pre-grape fives, based on a prototype that Tinker had created back in the 90s. Because that color was actually considered to be one of the, final products for the grape before they decided to release the white pair, which we all know as the grapes. And so that pair, even though I didn't care for it and I didn't pick it up, has extremely nice full grain leather on it. I mean, you can't front on that pair right there. You really cannot front. Before I get started, because I definitely want to touch on the quality issue and really get in depth on these sneakers, because I'm sure that there are several people who have done comparisons on the CDP and on the 2015 release. But I'm not sure how many people have done comparisons including the original. And so y'all know, with me being the OG King, I'm all about this stuff here. If it's got that in there, on there, I'm about that life. So, real quick, man, I have a few things for sale. If you guys have not checked my for sale video that I posted a couple of months ago, please check it out. Actually, it was more like, well, this is the end of the month, so I guess it was like a couple months ago because it was in March. But please check that out. I got a bunch of nice stuff in there, nice prices. But real quick, I just want to throw this in there because this is a gem, and I'm surprised that I still have this sneaker. This is an original Air Jordan 16, and I mean, come on, man. Ice. Ice, ice, baby. No heel drag whatsoever. I got both the shrouds. People call them covers. I think the official name for it is Gator. But I got both the shrouds on there. It's in very, very nice condition, and I'm looking to let these go. Size 13. No box, but I will ship them to you in a box. So I just want to let you know that I'm just shocked that I still have this sneaker. I mean, if I could wear it, I definitely would put it on my foot because I have the bread pair right in there. And those are still dead stock as well. So I just wanted to let you know, my size 13 people, I got y'all covered on that. I also got another pair of OGs that are not as great condition, but those are available as well, OG Charcoal 9s. And so this video isn't about that, but I just want to throw that one in there real quick. I also got a couple more OGs for sale. I got a bunch of stuff for 140 and under. So, you know, please check into that. If you've been following my Instagram, then you already know. Of course, it's at Detroit_Dave. And so you already know, you see me posting. I also have a pair of red foam posits left. And I know people are asking $350. I'm asking less than that. So please hit me. You know the number already if you've been rocking with me. And I'll throw the number out there again for you shortly. So now, before we get in depth, let's talk quality. Now, I personally disagree with that statement. The reason being is because the 2015 model is actually a lot closer. Well, I won't say a lot. It's actually closer to the original than the Countdown pack is. I really like the leather. And I think a lot of people were saying, because the feedback that I've been getting, because, you know, I had to get like 20-something pairs for people. And if you've been following my IG, you know what I'm doing with the pre-orders and all that. And I definitely will get into the pre-orders upcoming and at the end of the video. But the feedback I've been getting is they don't like the quality. It's a bunch of glue stains. Now, from my perspective, being a purist, it's two different ways that you can look at quality. You can look at, one, the quality of the materials used to make the shoe, and two, the overall quality of the finished product. Let me explain what I mean to you. The teal Air Jordan 4 that came out earlier this year, the material that they used, fabulous. A1 job on that shoe. But when I look at it, the overall quality of the shoe is not that great. Like, I don't look at that shoe and say, oh my God, I must have this. But when I look at my Columbia 4, which was the first release of the year, I look at that shoe, I say, oh my God, they executed this perfectly. It looks just like the 1994 Retro. I'm sorry, excuse me, the 1999 Retro 4 that came out in 99. You know, they came in one of those boxes. So, that's what I mean. Like, the quality materials was there on those 4s, but the overall quality of the finished product, I just really appreciated the Columbia a lot more as opposed to the teal. So that's what I'm saying. Now, if people are saying the overall quality, they don't like that because it's glue stains and things like that, which we'll get into my pair. I really didn't have that many glue stains. I mean, it might have been a dot or two, but nothing, you know, major. Nothing to make me upset. You know, I still appreciate the shoe because, of course, this is my favorite Air Jordan 7 ever created. So I disagree with the overall quality. I disagree with the quality thing just because mine looks great to me. It looks a lot more like the original. And I think the materials that they used was fabulous on it. So, I mean, people are saying that they didn't like the quality. I mean, people can be finicky. You know, people are spending their hard-earned money. They can say what they want and they can feel how they want to feel. But I mean, let's think back just 2, 3 short years ago. Everybody was complaining about, the quality, and now you're complaining about the price. So, they're using better materials this year, 30th anniversary. You gotta expect a price hike. So now, let's start with the 1992 original. And we're just going to take a quick look here. And of course, that is the original box, the original price tag, the original label, size 10.5. Then we have the countdown pack, of course, which came in the package with the Air Jordan 16. Original box, original label. And then, of course, you have last week's release. Came with a nice little Hare Jordan retro card. I thought that was nice. And, of course, in the 30th anniversary box. So now, let's go ahead and get started. These are actually still dead stock. And like I said before, this is my favorite Air Jordan 7 ever. And that's why I decided to keep it dead stock. Now, I normally store them in this bag. Since it doesn't have an icy sole, I didn't find it necessary to store it in a Ziploc like I do with a lot of my other sneakers that have icy soles. Pretty much, if it doesn't have an icy sole, I really don't store it in a Ziploc because it's really no reason to preserve it to that level. A lot of my OGs that have icy soles, I like to store them in Ziplocs with a silica gel pack, just to maintain the integrity of the icy sole. But with these, I didn't find it necessary. Same with that pair. I mean, that's the original pair, but it's no Ziploc, just a nice little bag. And I found it very important to keep these in the bag because that gray suede is butter soft and is very, very light. And so I didn't want any discoloration, from the paper. Now, the paper is still bright white. We can look at the paper real quick. Let me slide this off. The paper is still very, very white. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out because when we get it in, we do what we need to do. So, I mean, the paper is still very, very white, very bright. But there have been situations where, based on the paper, if it rubs up against it, because paper is made out of wood. It's made from a tree, so it could be little grains that might get on the suede and scuff it a little bit or cause it to discolor just because it's been sitting on there. Now, you got to remember, this sneaker came out 7 years ago. So it's been sitting in a box for 7 years. And so sometimes those things can happen. And I decided to go ahead and keep these in a bag just because, it's my favorite sneaker. It's a very light color and I wanted to preserve it. So I always wanted to wear it, but it was just like, it's so pretty. It's my favorite one. I think I'm going to go ahead and hold off. And then this year, they gave us these, so now I could put these on foot as opposed to wearing these and keep these DS just because, like I said, once again, I love this sneaker. So what we're going to do is we're going to get in depth into this sneaker. And I'm just going to go ahead and line these up side by side. Let me go ahead and move this one out the way. Just line those up side by side. Now, like I said before, we've got your 92 original. We've got your countdown pack, and we've got your 2015 release. Offhand, and I'm trying to get a great view on this. Offhand, I'm noticing some subtle differences. What I'm noticing is that the color of the Jumpman on the ankle pod of the new one is more of a burgundy, a deeper red, and the one on the original is more of a lighter red, a more true red. The one in the middle, it looks to be about in the middle. I mean, it looks like they basically go from lighter to darker every release. And so that's just something I noticed offhand. It looks like the OG has a lower. Now on the toe pod that we see right here, it looks like that one is pretty much the lowest out of all three. The middle pod right here looks to be about the same on the original and the 2015. The one on the countdown package model looks to be a little bit taller, where as you can see, it has more of an arc to it right there in the middle, where that one seems to be a little bit more flat and rounded. And actually this one has a nice little arc to it too. So let me, hold on, let's go ahead and lay these down so we can really get a good look. And while I'm looking at them right here, try to get out that light for you guys, it looks like maybe they are a little bit closer than I thought. And you know, I always encourage you guys to leave comments. So I think that this one, the CDP and the 2015, both have a higher arc. However, I believe that you can definitely tell the difference in the arc of the OG and the countdown pack. And then if we compare the new release, I believe those are a lot closer. Also, if you notice, you can see the grain in the leather on the 2015 model. That's one of the things that I thought was a great addition. I thought the quality of the leather was a lot better, because if you look at the countdown package, you don't see that grain like that. I mean, you can see it a little bit from where this has been a little stressed right here. But overall, I mean, I think it's blatantly obvious just looking at them that the grain of the leather is better on the 2015 model. Now, this is not my opinion. You're seeing it for yourself. So for those of you that are complaining about the quality, I challenge you to show me exactly what you mean and what you're talking about when you say that the quality on the 2015 model is not as good as the countdown package, because you're seeing the leather difference right there. And then let's go ahead and take a look at the OG. And as you can see, the same thing. You see the grain in the leather right there. And so, like I said, I really feel like the 2015 model is closer to the original. Let's go ahead and see if we can pick up some more differences besides the grain in the leather and the size of the pods. I'm gonna back up a little bit. The reds seem to be about the same. Now you got to keep in mind, the original is 23 years old. So things are going to have more of a yellowish tint or a darker tint to them, just because that sneaker has been, you know, in existence for longer. Anything that you have is going to tarnish over the years unless they're, you know, you store them pristine, you know, perfectly. It's always going to be a little bit darker on the original. But as from what I can see, the reds on the soles look about the same. We already discussed the reds on the Jumpman, and we'll get more in depth in that. Let's look at the reds on the tongue. Let's look at the reds there and see. I'm trying to get out the light for you guys. Let me see if I can. I think that's the best view, because I don't want any shadows so you guys can really see. Now, the holes in the tongue look to be larger on the original and the 2015 model, and the smallest on the countdown pack. As far as the color, this definitely has a sheen to it. The countdown pack seems to be more dull, and the original definitely has a sheen to it. And so let me just see if I can get as close as I possibly can. Yeah, the OG and the 2015 definitely have more of a sheen than the countdown package. It seems to be muted down a little bit as far as the sheen on there. And so that's definitely, I mean, like I said, off rip, I haven't really, I mean, I looked at them, but I've been so busy making things happen and taking pre-orders for these breads that, you know, I really haven't had the time to really get in depth. And I knew I was going to do a video, so I wanted to wait and kind of experience it with you guys, you know, because I really appreciate you guys watching the videos. And, you know, I want you guys to be entertained. That's why my videos are so long, man. I really get in depth. The last comparison I did was the Legend Blue and the Columbias, and that was really in depth, I think. And before that, what was the last comparison? Was it the Carmine 6? I think it was the Carmine 6 is the last comparison I did before the Columbias. And I just like to really get in depth so you can really break the sneaker down. And so the colors of the red, they seem to be about the same. On every box is True Red. Now, of course, this came in a pack, so for the color, it just says multi. But it definitely says True Red on that one, and it definitely says True Red on the original. And so I think the colors of the red, at least on the sock liner, well, not sock liner, on the tongue of the shoe, is definitely about the same color. Now, I know when we did the Carmines, there was a height difference. So I'm going to try to pull the tongues out on these. Well, that one. Let me go ahead and unlace it. I haven't unlaced this. I haven't taken this string out. I don't know how long it's been. Well, let's go ahead and pull that out. And we'll go ahead and I'll do the same thing here on the 15 model. Go ahead and pull this tongue out so we can really see if it's a height difference. And bear with me, I'm trying to do this one-handed and still hold the camera. By the way, shout out to video quality. I really hope it transfers through when you guys are watching this video, but as far as I'm concerned, this video quality is amazing. I just upgraded to a new S6 a little while ago, which reminds me, if you have an S4 or an S5 and you bought the phone off someone, but they didn't have the accessories, the box and the earphones and whatnot, I'm actually selling the whole complete pack just without the phone, box and everything for the S4 and the S5. So holla at me if you need one of those. But I want to make sure that these are all on the same level. So let me set this up a little bit. Scoot the countdown over. Make sure those are all on the same level. Okay. Now, they say that every Air Jordan 7 tongue is different. That's what they claim. And from what I've seen, it seems to be true. Now, from what I can see, let me go ahead and pull this out. Just by doing this quick little, you know, thing that I'm doing here. The countdown package seems to be the tallest. Whereas the original tongue and the 2015 tongue seem to be about the same height. Let me go ahead and scoot this one over so we can really get a better look and see. Yes, so in my opinion, those look to be the same height. The OG might be a tad bit taller. And so let's go ahead and compare the two newer releases. This being the countdown over here, and this being the 2015. And yeah, definitely the countdown pack tongue is taller. Not by much, just a couple of centimeters, but it definitely is taller when you try to go ahead and pull it out. I like what they do with the 7 because, you know, you always get that different pattern. And I just think it adds a nice little flair to it. Okay, so now we're looking at it from this view, and the 2015 is in the middle, and we got the countdown pack on the outside. Notice the silver tips on the countdown pack. And that's one little minor difference. I mean, a lot of the 7s that were coming out between 04 and 06 or 07. I think it was 06 that was making all those 7s. I don't think it was a pair that came out in 07, if I'm not mistaken. But I know they came out with the For the Love of the Game Olympics in 2009. I didn't have those. I didn't care for them, so I don't know if they came with tips or not. But a lot of those sevens were coming with tips. I know my Flint Gray sevens came with tips on them as well. But the originals and the 2015s, as you can see, no tips. So I really believe that the 2015 model is taking it right back to the original. All right, so now that we've looked at the tongues, let's take a look at the sock liners, or excuse me, I keep saying sock liner. Let's take a look at the insoles. And of course, you're gonna notice right off the rip that the OGs have Nike in them, as they should. And the 2015s also brought Nike back. What I like about every Countdown Pack sneaker is it's got that strip. What that strip means is it will never rub off. It will never wear away because it's actually sewn in to the insole as opposed to the screen print or silk screen as they call it. I remember when I was in high school and we was buying the champion jerseys. Was hot. They were hot in the mid 90s. And everybody was getting the silk screens. It was cool back then. But as I got older, I realized I like those stitched, man. The stitching jerseys is where it's at. So you can see the difference there. Try to get all of them in one shot where you can see the Nike on both. And then the strip and the Countdown Pack. As far as the colors of the, now I can say sock liner. As far as the colors of the sock liner, they all seem to be about the same. Now, this one does seem like it has more of a sheen to it once you get up close on it. It definitely looks like it sheens. And when I say this one, I'm talking about the Countdown package. And then you can definitely see a sheen here. You can definitely see a sheen there. And then without a doubt, there's a sheen on that one. And the reds all seem to be about the same color on that. Let's take a look at the backs of them. And I'm trying to keep them in chronological order with the OG being on the far left and the new one being on the far right. All right, now as soon as I look at this, it's looking like the 2015 is higher and the Countdown Pack is about the same. But let me try to put these directly next to each other so we can get the most accurate. And when you look at them right next to each other, it actually looks like the 2015 model and the OG. The height of the triangle on the back of the 7 looks about the same. And then when you compare the OG to the Countdown package, it looks like the Countdown package is lower. And it seems like it has a longer strip. And then let's compare the Countdown package. And this is the Countdown package. Let's compare this to Countdown. Let's compare the Countdown package to the, and yeah, the Countdown package model is definitely lower. And so that's definitely something that we want to take a look at and mark as one of the differences. Yeah, that Countdown package is got the lowest triangle and the longest strip. But that OG strip is pretty long too. I think the new one has the shortest strip out of all of them. Size tags are still in the same place, right behind the tongue. You got your 1991. And for those of you guys who are not into OGs, the first 2 numbers in that serial number on the or production number, whatever you call it, because that might be the, well, no, that's the patent number. So yeah, the first two numbers on the serial number is going to be the year that it was released. By this time, they started just putting the production dates on directly on the sneaker. So you can see this one was in production from December of 2007 to the last day of Black History Month in 2008, and these dropped in May. And then the same thing on the brand new ones from roughly Thanksgiving last year to the end of January this year. And so you got the size tags right there. And so let's take a look at the soles of the sneakers next. And so let me go ahead and get this one. I'm going to get them set up a little bit so we can take a look at it. Now that's the OG right here. And then this is the countdown right here. And then this is the new boy right here. All right. So let's take a look at that sole. Now, obviously, the countdown package and the 2015 model are lighter red because those are both dead stock. But the original one was worn, and so it's showing up a little bit darker. So I would like to believe that the red would be about the same if it was dead stock, because you got to understand, number one, it's 23 years old. Number two, it's been worn. So it's a little bit of dirt on there. You know, you got to expect that for a worn sneaker. But offhand, I'm noticing that both the Jumpmen on the original and the 2015 are more of a deeper purple, whereas the countdown package model is a little bit lighter. And I'm trying to get the best view without putting a shadow on it so you guys can see the difference. Definitely the countdown package Jumpman has the lightest purple, whereas the original and the 2015 are more of a Concord purple. Other than that, it looks like they seem to be exactly the specs. I don't see anything. I don't see any differences as far as the specifications of the sole. They all seem to have about the same amount of holes. The holes seem to be all placed in about the same area, same size. So with the soles, I think they did a very good job actually on all three. I think all three are about identical as far as the spacing and whatnot of the holes on the bottom. Now, I will say that the countdown pack, once again, just like we looked at the tongue, I will say the countdown pack red seems to be more muted, more of a dull red. It's a very, very slight difference in reds, but the 2015 model seems to definitely be brighter. Now, that could just be because it's a brand new sneaker, or it could be that they did it like that on purpose, and it's closer to how the original would be. And so that's the soles. And let's go ahead and take a look at the midsole. And once again, this is the 2015 on this side. Countdown pack. Original. And let's take a look at the midsoles. And if you look, matter of fact, let me try to set it up like this. It's kind of not enough space, but maybe if I stretch them out a little bit like that. All right. And look directly down at them. I think this is a very good angle. Now, they all seem to be about the same, but I want to say that the countdown package goes a little bit further up here in this area. I know some people refer to these on the 6 as the mountains, so I guess I'll use that term to describe it. The mountain looks to go up a little bit higher, comparing the original to the countdown package. I'm going to say definitely goes up higher. And now let's look at the countdown package compared to the new one. And these actually look like they're about the same height. They look like they go up about the same amount. Now let's compare the original to the 2015. And it's closer, but the 2015 still goes up a little bit higher on the mountain. Now let's get back to that color on the side here. Like I said, I want to keep them kind of in order and get them as close as I possibly can so we can get all three of them in the view. And yes, most definitely the red, the Jumpman that's on the ankle pod of the 2015 is definitely darker. It's more of a burgundy. Kind of like the color of blood once it dries. And then the 2015, I'm sorry, the Countdown package is brighter. And then the brightest, even after all the years, is the original. Also, Jordan seems to have picked up weight. If you look at the original, that Jumpman seems to be very thin. Whereas on the Countdown pack, he looks more like the Jumpman that we're used to seeing. And then on the New Boy, he looks a little bit more streamlined, but still about the same thickness. Now, I will say that on the 2015 model, the threading is not as three-dimensional as it looks on the other two. It looks more flat, whereas that one, you can definitely tell it's raised. You can definitely tell it's raised. And then the same thing on the original, you can tell it's raised, but I think it's not as raised as the Countdown package model. So I'm definitely going to go with the Countdown pack has the most three-dimensional threading on the Jumpman. All right, so let's take a look from the front view again. The laces, they seem to get better and better every release. As far as the tightness of the knit, you see how close I can get. Oh yeah, see, this string is the 2015. That string is the Countdown pack. And of course you can tell that one is very loose. And so I think the laces that they give us get tighter and tighter. Now let's look at the height of the toe box. And for this, I really want to make sure that they're all nice and firm, planted. I'm going to go ahead and throw this box up here, which is the 2015 box that I'm putting up here, just to make sure I get this as level as possible. And so now that's going to be the 2015. That's going to be the original. And this one is the Countdown package. But even that's not fair though, because these are sitting flat and the OG is kind of curled up a little bit. That's a nice round toe box on the 2015. The Countdown pack seems to be more flat, and we also discussed this on the Carmine comparison video that I did. It's getting a little bit more difficult to focus in that close. And so I think that the Countdown package is going to have more of a slope from the midfoot down to the toe box. However, it's also going to be thinner at the toe box, whereas the 2015 is not going to have as great of a slope. It's going to be lower, but when you get to the toe box, it's more rounded. And I think that you could say the same thing about this toe box. Is definitely more rounded right there. And so, yeah. So we've spoken about the pod size. We've spoken about the color on the sole. We've looked at the sole, the tongue, the sock liner, the insole, toe box. We looked at the ankle. We've looked at the back of the sneaker. And so overall, I'm going to say that the 2015 is definitely the closest to the original out of all three. And see, that's what I'm saying. It's just, I mean, you know, it's some glue that you can see. Unfortunately, I can't get this to focus in. Let me see. Let me catch it from a different angle. There we go. It's, you know, a couple of imperfections, but not much. You know what I'm saying? Not much at all. Now, the suede. I will say that on the Countdown pack is more butter soft. However, on the original, it's not as butter soft. It's more of a rigid. And with the new one, I would say it's kind of in between. It's not as rigid as the original, but you can definitely feel more grain than on the Countdown pack. The Countdown pack is definitely the softest as far as the suede. And then also, you can see the texture. Even in the suede, you can see that texture on the original. And on the 2015, nah, you really don't see too much texture at all. I mean, it's just the suede. You really don't see too much texture on it at all. And then we're going to take a look at, yeah, you see. So yeah, those are definitely closer as far as the texture of the suede, the Countdown package and the 2015 model, whereas you can really see the texture on the original. And then last but not least, we can take a look at the boxes. I'm just going to go ahead and set this up here. Of course, the original Flight Club card. Now, the pack boxes, all those are identical, so you can't really do too much about that. The original box, of course, has the Nike branding, the same box that the 5s and 6s came in. And the new one is going to give us the, I was kind of hoping that they put the 7s in that box or either switched it to this box right here, because the 7s actually started to come in those boxes after the first couple releases. So I was kind of hoping that they kept the whole retro thing going. You know how they got the retro 1 boxes that look just like the 85 box, and then with the 3s and 4s they look like the 88 and 89 boxes. So I was hoping they would keep it going with the 7s, but unfortunately it doesn't look like that's going to happen. And then so you just got the natural, you know, the new retro box for 2015, the 30th anniversary joints. Now with the paper, of course, you got the traditional black wax in the OGs. In the Countdown pack, you have the laser printed paper, where if we can get a good look, you can actually see the different models of the sneaker ingrained in there. There we go. That's an excellent shot. Kind of like you would see on any laser model of the sneaker. And then in the new one, they have the 23 printed all over the paper. So this will conclude the Air Jordan 7 Hare comparison. I believe we have spoken about everything that needs to be spoken on. As always, if you feel that there's something that I have missed, or you want to make a comment about the quality or any other comparison, whether it's similar or different that I may have missed, please leave a comment. I'm always open for an intelligent debate on sneakers. And so, final thoughts. 2015 model is definitely closer to the OG in more ways. And the countdown package is definitely got more of a butter soft suede on it. So that's what I like about the countdown pack. I like the countdown pack suede, and I like the tips on the countdown pack. But yeah, man, the new one is definitely more similar to the OG. So this has been the Air Jordan Hare comparison video. Pre-orders I'm doing right now. Of course, it's too late for the bread loaves. But speaking of OG shit, the Chicago ones are dropping this Saturday. Chicago ones are dropping. So if you're trying to get a pair, you need to holler at me ASAP, because I've been getting more and more orders recently. And you wanna holler at me before I close the orders down. So you definitely want to jump on those. After that, we're doing the Poison Green and Infrared 5. Apparently this new nickname they're coming up with, people are calling them the Space Jam 5. I don't remember seeing that shoe in the movie Space Jam, so I'm not calling this the Space Jam 5. As far as I know, it's the Poison Green 5. But it looks almost like a Cement 5. It looks like the Cement 4 just on a 5 silhouette. I really like it, and I'm definitely keeping a pair of those for myself. So after that, the week after that, we're doing the Poison Green 5. Some of you may know them as the Space Jam 5. After that, we're doing the Bread Low 13. And then the week after that, it's going to be crazy. The Cigar and Champagne came out June 14th of last year. On June 20th of this year, it's a similar package, but it's with the 7s, of course, because it's the year of the 7. So we got the Championship Pack Air Jordan 7. I mean, they're calling it a pack, but they're going to come in separate boxes, just like with the Cigar and Champagne. And so we got the red one, and we got the white, black, and gold one. I'm not exactly sure what they're calling it. I haven't heard too many nicknames. I'm just hearing it as the Championship Pack for the 7s. Now, with this happening, and you can go ahead and mark my words, Memorial Day 2015, you heard Detroit Dave say it, I'm pretty sure we're going to see a Championship Pack 8 series next year. So, Father's Day weekend, 2016, we're going to come back to this video and we're going to say, you know what? Dave told us so. You heard it here first. Championship Pack 8s coming next year. And it may be the first 8, well, not the first 8, because of course you got the, you got a few 8s with leather on them. I'm tripping. Because I forgot the whole 07 run with the Stealth, the Orange Blaze, and the Anthracite. I like to call them the Olympic 8s. But the Anthracite 8s, they had leather uppers as well. But it might be the first leather upper that we see with color. Well, nah, because they came out with the brown and the black for girls in 2007 too. Anyway, it's going to be an Air Jordan 8 with leather, probably. I think it's going to be real nice quality. And so, mark my words, it's dropping next year because he won a championship in the 6, the 7, and the 8. So if they're doing another one for the 7s, one for the 8 is coming. So, for the next 5 or so weeks, every week, you can order with your boy. No camping, no standing in line. Don't worry about no raffles. Let your boy take care of that for you. We got the Chicago one this Saturday. Poison Green 5s, aka Space Jams, the following week. Bread Low 13s the following week. Championship 7 the following week. And if they don't push them back again, shattered backboards. But we can't, if you ain't really serious about it, we can't talk about that because those going to be like fragment limited. So, we might be able to work something out on that. Anyway, the number is still the same. 678 830 66 90 for pre-orders, or if you want to go ahead and make that purchase. So let's go ahead and take one final view at all of the sneakers. 1992 Hare 7. Countdown package. Hare 7. Of course, the stock is deceased on that. And 2015 Hare 7. Once again, your boy, Detroit Dave. Holla at me for pre-orders. Or if you just want to say what's up, please like this video. Share this video. Comment on this video. And subscribe to the channel. I got a bunch of heat videos coming this summer. Stay tuned and you'll find out what's good. It's your boy, Detroit Dave. Follow me on Instagram at Detroit_Dave. I appreciate you.
Yo, it's Detroit Dave. And I know I ain't the only one that like to put on the clothes at the club to kill these niggas and make these bitches break their neck. So if you love to shine, this your song. Yeah, we love to shine. Yeah, we love to shine. Our state of mind is prime time, it's grind time. Yeah, we love to shine. Yeah, we love to shine. Rockin' exclusive Air Jordan.